Have you ever pondered upon the inexplicable depths of the darkest blues that occasionally descend upon us, seemingly out of nowhere? This question propels us into the core of an immensely complicated and generally misunderstood human condition: depression. This state of being is frequently shrouded in silence, an adversary that is as quiet as it is unyielding. The expedition of understanding depression that we are going to embark upon is not exclusively for those who are its direct victims, but also for the ones who aspire to comprehend this condition better. Depression, contrary to the cliched belief, is not an individualistic, isolated experience. It is, in reality, a global issue that transcends geographical limitations, socioeconomic divides, and cultural variances. People from all walks of life, irrespective of their backgrounds, face depression's insidious clutches, making it a universal dilemma. The World Health Organization, WHO, presents a staggering statistic. Over 300 million individuals worldwide are grappling with depression at any given instance. To put that in context, that's equivalent to the entire population of the United States of America. It's an alarming figure that warrants our immediate attention and calls for concerted efforts towards understanding and addressing this mental health issue. Depression, however, is not merely about feeling sorrowful or experiencing a rough day. It isn't about occasional downheartedness or temporary mood swings. It's about a pervasive, enduring sense of despair and a loss of interest in activities that once brought joy and excitement. It's about feeling alienated from the world, oneself, and the things that were once treasured. Depression is an ailment that traverses beyond the sporadic blues, manifesting into a persistent melancholy that has the power to significantly disrupt and interfere with the normal flow of life. It casts a pall of gloom over everything, colouring life with somber shades of blue and grey. But what ignites this incapacitating condition? What are the triggers that push an individual into the depths of depression? Unfortunately, there isn't a simple, direct answer to this. There's no universal explanation, as depression isn't a uniform condition. It's a sophisticated interplay of genetic factors, biological aspects, environmental influences, and psychological elements. Some individuals might have a higher genetic predisposition to it, while others might crumble under the weight of environmental stressors or psychological traumas. Depression can be likened to intricate jigsaw puzzles where each piece represents a unique factor. These pieces, when combined, can form the perfect storm, resulting in a mental health hurricane. It's a complex conundrum that requires a nuanced understanding and an empathetic approach to unravel. Indeed, it's like a perfect storm where various elements come together, culminating into this mental health hurricane. Symptoms of depression differ among individuals, yet certain signs are commonly seen. They might appear as a persistent feeling of sorrow, a lack of interest in almost every aspect of life, irregular sleep patterns, changes in appetite, or unexplained physical discomfort. These symptoms are not consistent or identical for everyone. Instead, they range from mild to severe, disrupting the daily routines, and overall health of the person experiencing them. Depression, a highly complex mental health disorder, doesn't present uniformly in all individuals. It takes on distinct forms in each person, making it a particularly challenging condition to identify and manage. It's not just about experiencing sadness or disquiet, but it's a multi-layered issue with a wide array of variations. Some of these variations include persistent depressive disorder, a type of depression that lasts for at least 2 years. Postpartum depression, that occurs in women after childbirth, affects one's ability to care for their newborn. Psychotic depression, which is characterized by severe depression, combined with involves having delusional thoughts or hallucinations. Seasonal affective disorder, a type of depression that's related to changes in seasons, usually begins and ends at the same year. Each type of depression carries specific symptoms and challenges, requiring distinct and specialized approaches to treatment. Despite the complexities, gaining an understanding of these various forms of depression is absolutely crucial for effective diagnosis, treatment, and management. This information allows those affected, as well as those around them, to take appropriate steps towards getting help and achieving improved mental health. However, it's important to note that depression isn't a one-size-fits-all condition. It takes various forms, such as persistent depressive disorder, postpartum depression, psychotic depression, and seasonal affective disorder, each with its unique set of symptoms and challenges. Yet amid the darkness there remains a glimmer of hope. Depression, an adversary often perceived as daunting and unassailable, is not so. It might seem like an impenetrable fortress, perpetually shrouded in a gloom that engulfs your entire existence. But there's more to it than meets the eye. It is a condition that, despite its formidable nature, can be effectively managed, tamed, and eventually subdued. This isn't a battle won overnight, though. It necessitates a thoughtfully devised plan, which comprises a combination of various components: medication, psychotherapy, and comprehensive lifestyle alterations, all working in sync to combat this enemy. Think of it as a well-oiled machine, each element playing its part, contributing to the overall functionality. Medication, especially antidepressants, plays a pivotal role in this whole process. They function like a well-trained army specifically designed to regulate mood. Their job is to provide a chemical balance in the brain, easing the emotional turmoil associated with depression. This balance acts as a steady platform, mitigating the intensity of the emotional waves that threaten to, on the other hand, offers strategies that empower individuals to cope with the existential challenges they face daily. It's like having a seasoned guide by your side, leading you through the treacherous terrain of life's challenges. This professional equips you with essential tools and skills to adjust your perspective towards life, teaching you to not just survive, but to thrive amidst adversity. In addition to these two pillars, certain lifestyle modifications can further bolster the fight against depression. Regular physical, for instance, is like a natural antidepressant. It releases endorphins that naturally elevate mood, acting like a ray of sunshine breaking through a cloudy sky. Similarly, a nutrient-rich diet ensures that the body is well equipped to tackle physical symptoms. It's like an internal armor, protecting and strengthening from within. Lastly, a sound, restful sleep regimen is the cherry on top. It's like a nightly reset button, aiding in mental rejuvenation. When combined, these strategies create a robust defense system against depression. All these together can aid in managing depression. So, what have we gleaned from this in-depth exploration into the daunting world of depression? The initial insight that we've amassed is the understanding that depression, rather than being a sporadic or isolated issue, is a pervasive ailment affecting over 300 million people globally. This isn't a matter to be dismissed casually. It is an elaborate disorder that doesn't trace back to a single root or cause. Rather, it's a mixture of multiple factors, an intricate blend of genetic predispositions, biological factors, environmental impacts, and psychological components. Each of these elements weaves together, constructing an elaborate interconnected web that culminates in the manifestation of this disorder. In the next stage of our exploration, we delve deeper and unearth that depression doesn't present itself uniformly. It is not a monolithic experience that can be easily categorized or boxed into a type. Instead, it unfurls itself in a multitude of forms, each with its own unique shape of symptoms, each presenting a different set of challenges that individuals have to face and overcome. Some might grapple with the extremes of sleep, either battling insomnia or hypersomnia, while others may notice a significant shift in their appetite or body weight. Some people may be persistently plagued, gnawing feeling of restlessness, irritability, or even physical discomforts, such as chronic headaches or consistent digestive issues. However, a thread that weaves through these varied forms is a relentless feeling of sadness, a chronic sense of melancholy, and a pervasive loss of interest in activities that previously brought joy and fulfillment. Progressing further in our journey, perhaps the most crucial and powerful revelation that we encounter is that depression is not an invincible enemy. It is a condition that can be treated, managed, and controlled. A thoughtful combination of medication, psychotherapy, and modifications to lifestyle habits can serve as potent weapons to combat this condition. When supplemented with a robust support system and consistent self-care practices, these treatments can lay down the foundation for recovery, helping individuals regain control of their lives. The journey of understanding depression is not merely an academic exercise. It is a vital endeavor to comprehend this complex condition that affects millions worldwide. It is the first step we take towards combating this condition, a step that should not be taken lightly or dismissed. The shades of melancholy might be profound, and their depths might be intimidating, but they're not insurmountable. Beneath those depths there exists an escape, a path that leads out of the darkness and into the light, a way to rise above the storm. There exists a glimmer of hope and a promise of recovery. Finally, the exploration unravels that the intricacies of depression, while being complex, are not indecipherable. The last and arguably the most significant revelation is that depression, though a formidable foe, is not an invincible adversary. A tactical combination of medical intervention, therapeutic approaches, and lifestyle modifications can serve as effective tools in managing and controlling the condition. With the reinforcement of a robust support system and the adoption of consistent self-care practices, these treatments can construct the road to recovery. The journey of understanding depression is a significant one. It is the first step we take towards combating this condition, a step that should not be taken lightly. The hues of melancholy might be profound, their depths might be intimidating, but they're not bottomless. There exists an escape, a path that leads out of the darkness and into the light, a way to rise above. As we continue our journey into understanding depression, we must turn our gaze outward beyond the individual to the society that surrounds them. The society we live in plays a significant role in both the development and management of depression. Its influence is twofold. It can be a barrier, but it can also be a bridge. Depression, like many mental health disorders, carries with it a heavy social stigma, an invisible but powerful mark of disgrace that can further isolate those affected. This stigma often stems from a lack of understanding, a lack of empathy, and a lack of willingness to acknowledge depression as a real, serious health condition. This can exacerbate the feelings of guilt, shame, and worthlessness that often accompany depression, driving people further into their shells, making it harder for them to seek help, and creating a vicious cycle that can be incredibly difficult to break. But society isn't just a barrier. It can also be a bridge, a lifeline that can help those affected by depression to find their way back to themselves. Support from friends, family, and the wider community can be a lifeline for those grappling with this condition. A kind word, a listening ear, a shoulder to lean on, these can make a world of difference, helping to alleviate feelings of loneliness and despair, providing comfort and reassurance, and reminding those affected that they are not alone, that they are understood, and that they are loved. Finally, the role of society extends beyond the personal to the public sphere. Public awareness and education about depression can play a crucial role in reducing stigma, improving understanding, and promoting more effective treatment. By fostering a culture of openness, acceptance, and understanding, we can help to ensure that those affected by depression are not left to fight their battles alone, but are instead embraced by a supportive, compassionate community that is equipped to help them on their journey to recovery. In the fight against depression, society can be both a barrier and a bridge. It is up to us to determine which role it will play. Let us strive to create a society that not only understands depression, but is also equipped to help those affected by it. Let us strive to be a bridge, not a barrier,